Good morning, Norcal Karters. It is May 16th, 2022, and this is our upcoming kart events in Northern California and surrounding areas. So not just in California, but surrounding areas or events that may affect our local racers. So thank you for tuning in. Thank you for sharing the show. A couple episodes ago, we went over 200 episodes. So that was a cool little milestone. Our YouTube channel is growing. And check it out, Norcal Karters, norcalkarters.com. And thank you for the support. It is appreciated by both myself and Ashley. And thanks again. And today's Monday. So tonight, Norcal Mondays on our live stream, Norcal Mondays. Tonight, we are doing a chassis tuning 101 featuring Birel chassis. It's going to be an open question and answer. So if you have questions about the Birel chassis or tuning advice that's general that might cross over to other brands, tune in tonight on Facebook and on YouTube at 7:30 Pacific Standard Time. And again, that's going to be the Birel chassis tuning session, and we're going to go through all the major chassis brands that are represented in NorCal. So again, tonight we're kicking off with Birel. You can find it on Facebook and on YouTube on the Norcal Karters channels. And our guests tonight, we have confirmed Mark French. His son Jake French races at the pro level, and they are the owner-operators of Full Gas Motorsports out of Texas. And we also have kind of local. He started in Northern California, and then he moved out to Florida, and he's been representing the Birel stuff for a number of years. Jake Mottaz will be joining us tonight as well. And we have a couple of other guests that are unconfirmed, so we're not going to mention them yet. But those are the two confirmed guests we have tonight. So we have the local tie-in with Jake Mottaz, who is now in Florida with Mottaz Sport. And we have national-level tuner, coach, and shop, Mark French. So check it out tonight, 7:30. And let's get to it. Karting's busy in Northern California. There's just a lot going on. And if you open your eyes a little bit, you'll see that a lot of the tracks are, operating. They're putting on events. And this is May, and I have 3 pages of notes to go over today. So a couple months ago, I said I was going to make these shows quick because these are the quick karting updates, not really race reports or anything else, but these are the events that are coming up or that just happened. So before we get too far into it, I would like to thank our sponsors. We have Gorilla Barbecue, gorillabarbecue.com, GFC Karting, gfckarting.com, extrakartparts.com, and aluminos.com. So those are the sponsors that help keep this show going. These are the sponsors that help keep the website, norcalkarters.com, going. And we really appreciate their support. So thank you very much. It is appreciated. So with that being said, thank you to our sponsors. And again, this year, Ashley and I decided we are going to make 2022. Every year I have a theme message to promote. Over the years, it was, focus on the clubs. That was a couple of years ago. Last year was focus on the sponsor series that support our various series in the area. This year, the focus, our message is suicide prevention and mental health awareness. The more and more I kind of pay attention to it, the more and more I personally see how it's a widespread problem. I'm pretty sure, I don't know, I'm not a doctor. I have a stupid karting podcast. I'm not a doctor by any means, but it definitely seems like over the past few years, things have definitely increased around mental health, around suicide. So it's not a fun topic. But I think it needs to be put out there. We do have a resource page on norcalkarters.com. You go on norcalkarters.com, click on resources. The very first link is the Suicide Prevention and Mental Health Awareness tab. It's a growing page. If you have a resource you'd like to share, send it to me or reach out to me. We will get that updated on the resources page. But there's phone numbers, there's chat lines, there's different associations that are both local based and national based. So if you yourself are, struggling and you just don't know where to look or go, check out that page first. Maybe there's a reference or a resource for you there. If you have a friend that you is suspecting is struggling with mental health, check out that page. If it's got to be uncomfortable to talk about. I mean, it's just it's probably one of those things we try to hide the stigma around it. So if you don't know how to approach a friend about it, there's resources on, again, norcalkarters.com on the resources page for that as well. But again, the more people open up and talk about it, you see it on Facebook. There's some families that are expressing mental health concerns and issues, and they bring it up so others kind of have, I'm going to say, hope that there's other people in their situation. And I find it very interesting that it's not necessarily just from depression. It's not necessarily just from financial reasons. It's so many things that, just really wear down on our mental health. So once again, 2022, Suicide Prevention and Mental Health Awareness. Go check out our website as a starting point for a resource. It's not the last resource you're going to need. It's a starting point. So again, that's 2022, and it's never a good segue to go from that. I always put it at the top of the show because I think it's very important. I don't want to bury it at the bottom of the show, but at the same time, there's just really no way to go from that message to going into our events. But I'm going to do it every show for the rest of the year. So with that being said, quick recap of events. So we have, going back a week or two, on our NorCal Mondays, and you can thank Ashley for that name. She came up with the handle NorCal Mondays. She also has her email address for NorCal Mondays. It's norcalmondays@gmail.com. So if you have an idea for a show, you want to be on a show, it ties into karting, you have content for the show, we're always looking for photos and videos, etc. You can email either norcalkarters@gmail.com or norcalmondays@gmail.com. And Ashley and I are working on different ways of incorporating media into the live streams. So, each show we add a little bit more and more, and her and I talk about it throughout the week. Oh, how do we do this? How do we do that? So if you have content, and we're looking for unique content. I really don't want the content that you've already shared 5 million times for 6 months. That's already out there. We want unique content. If you were at a recent race, there was a cool pass or some action going on, that's what we want to see. Share that with us. We're going to kind of minimize the drama stuff because unless it's a true learning experience. I'm not a race director. I'm not going to be a race director. I don't want you to submit a video and say, hey, this guy took out my kid. Share the video so you can prove how right I am. That's not the point of it either. But if it can be a learning experience, that's going to be different. But yeah, we're looking for content. Again, video, photos, other type of media if you have it. We don't care. The show is for you. Norcal Karters is for the local karter. So if you're a local business, a karting business, and you want more exposure, please reach out to us. And please be mindful. Ashley and I are not drawing a paycheck from Norcal Karters. So ask yourself, if you use our resource to promote your business, maybe kick down a check, because that's what's going to help keep the site alive. That's what's going to help keep the content alive. So just kind of think about that. Let's see. So that's it. That's kind of my sales pitch for the day. Going again to the industry. Where did I leave off? Quick recap. 1 to 2 weeks back. Recent lives. Oh, the live stream. That's how I got segued. Ashley's shaking her head right now. Like, come on, dudes. Read your notes. May 9th. We did. Not me. I was booted off that day. Ashley took 100% control of Norcal Karters on Norcal Mondays, and it was a Kart Mom's Mother Day special. And she had a great question at the end of that podcast. Well, it's towards the end. But I never would have asked this question because I never would have thought about it. But it was a great question, and she asked the moms on the show. She said, what is something you would tell one of the drivers that your child looks up to on, I can't remember how she worded it, but basically how they would handle themselves or represent themselves at the track. And I thought that was a great question. And then she name dropped Connor Zillich because we have a local kid, Connor's Bald Spot. And we've used Connor in the past as a perfect example of the power of social media. And, here's a kid that races on the East Coast. He's going into cars. And, he's a household name in karting for all these kids, and they look up to him. And, I mean, kids are even stealing his picture and doing a parody YouTube channel off of it. And I think it's great. But Ashley asked the moms, what would you like to see those kids do? My kid looks up to you. This is how I would like to see you interact or represent yourself. And I thought that was a great question. So check out that podcast from last week. You can find on Facebook. You can find on YouTube. After this Kart podcast show right now, I will upload the audio only format to our website. I forgot to do it last week, quite honestly. So it's downloading right now. That'll be up and going in about an hour. So that was May 9th, Kart Mom's Mother Day special. May 2nd, we had Ron White racing. So Ron White, he was joined by Ryan Martin. He was joined by Kevin Woods. And for those that listen to our live streams at Rock Sonoma, I kind of fanboy out over Kevin Woods. Him and I are probably about the same age. He might have a year or two on me, but I'm 46, so he's in that age bracket. So he normally runs Masters. He dropped down. I say drop down. It's kind of a joke because he went from Masters and he's running Pro, and he's been running top 3, top 4 at every single event, and he's I don't know what the right word is. I guess modest is the right word. I didn't realize how badass of a racer Kevin really was, and the racing car experience he had. So it was really neat that he joined Ron on the Ron White show. We talked about his background. We've had Ryan Martin on a few times. Ryan's always a great interview because he has his own character. And then down the road, we'll probably get more into Ron White's story as well. Ron's, he's NorCal, born and raised, raced over in Europe for CRG. So there's a lot of history there with Ron White. So we did that podcast on May 2nd. Again, you can find all of that stuff on Facebook or YouTube. And then some of our recent karting events, on-track karting events. Not mine. I just run my mouth and promote other promoters' series. I don't actually promote an individual series. This past weekend, the KPX Championship was up in Reading at the Shasta Kart Club. The California ProKart Challenge was at Buttonwillow this past weekend. And there was also the Karts and Coffee down in Modesto. That was taking place. So that was going on. Sorry, I forgot to fill my glass of water. My throat's running dry. I'm all caffeinated up. This is what happens when I have 2 cups of coffee every morning. And then I crash at 1 o'clock. Okay. Those were this past weekend. Coming up in Norcal Karters. Tonight, I already talked about it. Norcal Mondays. Hashtag Norcal Mondays. Chassis Tuning 101 featuring the Birel Art Chassis brand. And we will have special guest confirmed, Mark French from Full Gas Motorsports. His son is Jake French. And we'll get into Mark's story as well. He's just not a shop owner or a team owner. As long as I have known Mark French and Jake French, they're a very unique team. They're a father-son team. But as long as I've known them, they've raced at the national level. And Mark has done all the tuning for Jake. I mean, they are a father-son team, and I think it's so cool that they still have that dynamic as a father-son, working and racing together, even though, Mark will have his own team or he'll be under, the bigger tents like PSL during the big races. I think it's so cool that, the dad still spends the wrenches on his kid's kart. It's just such a cool thing. So Mark French will join us tonight. Also, one of our local boys, Jake Mottaz. So he was raised in NorCal. He cut his teeth on all of our NorCal tracks up here. Maybe we'll get into a fun story with him later tonight about his tie-in with NorCal and Track Magic. So, but Jake Mottaz, he's currently out in Florida now, and he owns and operates Mottaz Sport. And again, tie-in to Norcal Karters, Jake Mottaz. That is going to be tonight, 7:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Facebook and YouTube, Norcal Karters. Go check it out. And it's going to be a live chat. So if you have questions, come check it out. Chat live with us. Going into next week, one of the announcements we have, California Rock Championship. They have canceled their Calspeed event. Andy Saisman, one of our series sponsors, not our series, show sponsors, his series, our show. So, Andy had to make the tough decision to cancel the Calspeed event, May 20th, basically due to lack of pre-entries. And he did an official press release on his website, challenge-karting.com. And basically what it came down to is his event was kind of shoehorned in with 8 other events in the SoCal region. And he talked to the teams, he talked to the drivers, and he just felt it really didn't make sense to, quite honestly, host a small event in the middle of such a competitive kart schedule down there in Southern California. So he's taken all those resources, and he's focusing on the Pat's Acres event that is going to take place June 24th through the 26th. Pat's Acres, for those that don't know, is in Canby, Oregon, just south of Portland. It's a beautiful track. It's a beautiful family runs the track, and I can't talk enough about Pat's Acres. For me, it's one of those bucket list tracks. The property is beautiful. The area is beautiful. The track is very unique. It's not like any tracks that we have in the area. Maybe if you were to combine Prairie City and Buttonwillow, maybe if you were to combine those two tracks somehow, then you'd end up with Pat's Acres. But let me just paint the picture for you here. Imagine a kart track surrounded by beautiful evergreen trees. And to the west of the track is a river. And everywhere you look, it's green trees, green grass, everything. And then you have the corners that turn one is a banked left-hand sweeper going into kind of a hard right. And the track just flows. They take very good care of the track. But it's just a bucket list track. It's one of my favorites. I happened to go up there last year for the Track Magic Rally, and really enjoyed it. So that's Challenge California Rock Championship. Their website, challenge-karting.com. Go check it out. That is, again, June 24th through the 26th. And I mentioned Track Magic Rally. This year it'll be September 9th through the 11th at Prairie City. So Track Magic Rally, September 9th through the 11th. And the boys over at the Track Magic Owners Group, they're pushing it hard. It's not just Track Magic. They want all NorCal-based manufacturers. Invader, Emic. There's another one on there. CTS. If you have one of those carts, come out to the Track Magic Rally, because they really want to make this one, being as NorCal-based at Prairie City, they want to invite the NorCal-based manufacturers. If you have one of those carts, come check it out September 9th through the 11th. And we'll have LaPointe on later in the year, or Bob Eriks, we'll have him on. Rich Bakke, one of our sponsors, Gorilla Barbecue. I'm sure we'll have him on as we lead up to the Track Magic Rally. So let's do a little bit of a rewind here. That's going to happen September 9th through the 11th. Okay. This weekend, we talked about the cancellation of Rock Cup Championship. But the races that are going on. CCKRA. Central California Kart Racing Association, CCKRA. They have an event this weekend at the Buttonwillow Kart Track. Santa Maria Kart Club. They have an event this weekend. Santa Maria Kart Club. And they host their own club at their own track in Santa Maria, just west of the airport. So if you've never been to Santa Maria, it's a cool area. It's a cool track. The local membership does a good job. It's as a club, they do a great job. If you've never been there, look it up on Google Maps first. Get an idea of the area, and then go. Because half the time I go down there, Google Maps sends you all over the place. But I don't know. For some reason, the GPS gets scrambled. Must be top secret government operations going on down there. Also this weekend, Blue Max Kart Club. Blue Max Kart Club has a club race this weekend. And the Norcal 80cc Shifter Series will be supporting that club this weekend. The Norcal 80cc Shifter Series has their race, their second race of the year. Is that correct? Yeah, second race of the year. Blue Max this weekend, Norcal 80cc Shifter Series. And also this weekend, Northern Nevada Kart Club, NNKC, Northern Nevada Kart Club. They have an event this weekend. Next weekend, May 28th and 29th, Rock Sonoma. So Rock Sonoma has an event May 28th and 29th. We will be live streaming that event. Rock Sonoma, we are going to live stream it on YouTube, so you can go check it out. So Rock Sonoma, May 29th. And then also, they have a new logo. And while I'm thinking about it, I'm just double checking if they have a new website. I know they're redoing the website, and they've changed the look and feel of it. But let's see here. Nope, the website is still sanzarukarting.com. sanzarukarting.com. If you need to pre-register for Rock Sonoma, again, that's happening May 28th and 29th, Rock Sonoma. And just a reminder, they changed Rock Cup, the actual series operated out of Italy. They changed the logos. Just keep that in mind, that when you go to the Rock Sonoma, it's now a blue and red, almost a triangle looking thing. So if you're used to the older Sanzaru Karting logo, they're phasing that out, and they're using the new Rock Sonoma logo. So check that out. I need like a 5-hour show to cater to my ADD. Sorry. Let's see here. So that's May 28th, 29th, Rock Sonoma. Obviously, it's Sonoma Raceway. Also that weekend, May 28th and 29th, Prairie City 4-stroke weekend. Is that right? Yes, 4-stroke weekend. So that same weekend, also a supporter of Norcal Karters, Prairie City Kart Club, their website, pckarting.com. They have their 4-stroke weekend out the track, and they've been kicking ass out there with the 4-stroke stuff this year. I don't know if they're going to have a new track layout, but Donald posted something on social media over the weekend that, excuse me, that they were messing around with a different layout. So I like how Donald mixes things up and tries to make it more interesting. So yeah, that's taking place May 28th and 29th, Prairie City Kart Club, 4-stroke weekend. If you're wondering why I'm saying 4-stroke weekend, Donald last year split the series into 4-stroke weekend and 2-stroke weekend. He initially did it because of COVID and the head count restrictions mandated by the state because they're on state property. Well, it was so successful, and a lot of the racers and teams came back and said, no, we kind of like the split weekend. Let's keep it that way. So, one weekend is 4-stroke, another weekend is 2-stroke. So May 28th, 29th, Prairie City, 4-stroke weekend. And if you don't know what a 4-stroke is, it is an LO 206 package. LO, local option 206 package, which is manufactured and made by Briggs & Stratton. So let's see here. June 4th and 5th, KPX will be returning to Prairie City for another round of the KPX Championship. That's June 4th and 5th. And then let's see here. June 11th and 12th, we just talked about it. Prairie City, 2-stroke weekend. So 2-stroke weekend, June 11th and 12th. Northern Nevada Kart Club. They have an event on June 11th and 12th as well. Northern Nevada Kart Club. And let's see here. I told you there's a lot going on. This is just May and June. June 18th and 19th, we're going back to Rock Sonoma. Live streaming on YouTube. Rock Sonoma, June 18th and 19th. Let's see here. And once again, their website, sanzarukarting.com. Although if you do Google Rock Sonoma, usually their website pops up right at the top. So if you Google Rock Sonoma, it will pop up. Let's see here. That same weekend, June 18th and 19th, CCKRA at the Big Fair Fairgrounds in Fresno. Let's see. So CCKRA Big Big Fair Fairgrounds in Fresno. So for those that don't know, when they go to the fairgrounds, it's a temporary track. They usually try to maintain the same layout throughout the year, but it's still a temporary track. If you are going to do one of the Vegas events, whether it's Rock Vegas or Supernats, and you've never participated on a temporary circuit, or you really suck at temporary circuits, I would recommend looking up CCKRA. Check them out. They're on Facebook. They're on the internet. And go to one of the Fresno races. Again, it's in a parking lot. It's a temporary surface. For a lot of drivers, it's just understanding what to expect from a temporary track. Why go figure that out in Vegas when you're spending thousands and thousands of dollars to show up down there? So if you've never done a temporary track, check out Big Fair Fairgrounds in Fresno, hosted by CCKRA. They do a couple of races a year at Fresno. But again, that's June 18th and 19th. Let's see. Not Shasta. Shasta with an H. Shasta Kart Club. They have an event going on June 18th and 19th. And the Norcal ADCC Shifter Series, they will be heading to Shasta, but it's going to be a non-points race. So they are heading to Shasta to support the club. It's on their official calendar, but it's not a part of their points. It's a fun race. So I imagine they're probably going to, fire up the barbecue, all have a good time. If you're more of a family type person, Shasta is a beautiful area to explore. You have Shasta right up the road from there. You have a lot of outdoors adventures to do. One of these days, I'm going to make it up there a couple days early. Take the family over to, I think it's called Turtle Bay, and go check that out, and the Rainbow Bridge and all that cool stuff. So go check that out. That's a lot going on that weekend, June 18th and 19th. Shasta Kart Club featuring Norcal ADCC Shifters, non-points race. So again, to recap, Rock Sonoma, CCKRA, Shasta Kart Club, June 18th and 19th. Then, June 24th through the 26th, California Rock Championship at Pat's Acres in Canby, Oregon. You can find out more information about that, challenge-karting.com. Let's see. We already talked about the Track Magic Rally, September 9th through the 11th. We talked about the California Rock Championship earlier in the show. So you can find information on Pat's Acres at challenge-karting.com. And that one actually, I'm going to be really interested in that one because, excuse me, there's been a lot of interest from racers in the Northwest for the rock program. So that one actually should be a pretty good turnout because it's going to be the NorCal guys, it's going to be the SoCal guys, it's going to be the guys from Arizona. Basically the West Coast traveling north to go to Pat's Acres, and hopefully they'll grab some of them Washington, Idaho, Oregon racers. The Canadians, will probably come down for that. So that'll be interesting to see. So California Rock Championship should be a big race, June 24th through the 26th. Same weekend, California ProKart Challenge at Calspeed. Also that weekend, Blue Max Kart Club. And I'm going to hit this one hard over the next month. Swap meet. There's a swap meet June 26th at the Prairie City Kart Club. So, swap meet, Prairie City Kart Club, June 26th. The reason we picked that date, I talked to Donald. Donald has a lot of events going on at Prairie City this year. But he did not want to do a swap meet that was a week before or a week after one of his other events. That's about the only date we can find that was semi-close. So I know there's a lot of stuff happening that weekend, but there is a swap meet. It's open to the public. I've already been promoting it on different channels. It's free to sellers. When I say free to sellers, you still have to pay your fee to get into the track by the state. I think it's $5 per vehicle. But Donald is not charging a seller's fee for that swap meet. It's open to everybody. And if you want to practice, etc., then the normal track fees are going to apply. But if you're not going to drive on the track, you're not being charged to enter the swap meet itself. So swap meet June 26, 2022 at Prairie City Kart Club. And let's wrap up the show. Double check I don't have anything that I'm missing. If I'm missing it, let me know. Please reach out to me. If I don't respond to your text or an email, just resend it or try again or give me a quick call. I'm not the most organized person in the world, so I'll see a message and it's like, oh wait, where did that come in? Did it come in on Instagram? Did it come in on Facebook? Did it come in on email? Did somebody text me? I just get so scattered, and I'm working on a system where I only check messages once a day, so that way I know, boom, 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 that, okay, check the messages, address the message, get it written down. So I am working on that. But if I missed your event, if I didn't mention your event, reach out to me personally, norcalkarters@gmail.com. You can find me on Facebook. Instagram's probably the worst way to send me a message, but Facebook and Gmail, norcalkarters@gmail.com. Let's see here. And let's wrap it up. Thank you again to our sponsors, Gorilla Barbecue, GFC Karting, ExtraKartParts.com, and Luminos.com. And you can find us on YouTube, Norcal Karters, Facebook, Instagram, NorcalKarters.com, and let's see here. If we all bring one person into the sport this year, we will double our size. Have a great week, and see you tonight, 7:30. Live stream, NorCal Mondays, Birel Chassis 101.